What's up, Weekend Warriors? Welcome into episode number 52 of the Weekendology podcast. Weekendology is the only podcast with the hottest takes, the best talking points, and the stories to spark your weekend conversations. So for everything related to all the best topics from music, movies, sports, food, and more, we've got you covered. I'll be your host, Will Deitchley, alongside the one who can't quit himself, Aaron Berg. What's up, Aaron? You recovering from the Halloween festivities this past weekend?
I was going to say, what do you mean by, well, can't I quit?
You can't quit. You'll never
quit. It could
quit.
be a lot of things.
It could be a lot of things, but you're the one who just won't quit, and that's probably a good thing.
Fun.
You just can't quit the fun.
I refuse.
You don't want to quit the weekend either.
Well, no, that's why I'm on this podcast.
Exactly. The weekend is the greatest part of our entire lives.
Because we study it, you know? We study the weekend, and that's how we get Weekendology.
Yes. Weekend-ology, the study of the weekend, a.k.a. this podcast, our entertainment. So,
very educational.
Very educational. We are a very educational podcast. Like, we bring lots of great facts and opinions and
know what they
history.
Say,
and
if you're new to this podcast, we're a popular podcast about changing and improving life.
All about life.
Or whatever the intro
pretty
is.
much anything that comes to mind, we're going to cover it. So we appreciate everybody joining us for another episode here. Thanks to all of our returning listeners as well. And if you're new to the show, welcome aboard. As Aaron said, the show is all about changing, improving, making things better as we cover all the best topics from around the pop culture and the sports world.
And food.
And lots of other great stuff. So tune in to our backlog of 51 episodes, and you'll get a good gist of what we cover. It's pretty much all across the board there, so
all your wildest dreams will be covered.
Will be coming true. Weekendology is brought to you by the Big Red World. Don't forget to go check them out. They've got some really great podcasts like The House That Rick Built and Six Drunk, One Sober. They're up on Twitter at Big Red Social, and their website is bigredworld.org. Be sure to go check out our webpage on the Big Red World's website for links to our episodes, social handles, and even blogs about our latest content. And make sure to show your love and support for the show by following our social handles as well. Keep up with all the best things changing from around music, movies, sports, video games, everything else that we cover. We'll bring you everything that's fresh and new from Weekendology. So head on over to our main Twitter at WeekendologyPod and wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you need everything sports related, we've got a sports handle for you. Aaron, what's our sports handle?
It is Weekendology.
It is. WKNDOLOGYSPORTS.
There you go.
Yes.
It's known as the Sanctuary on social media these days.
It is the Sanctuary.
Just go to those pages. Just look at those. You don't need to look at anything else.
Yes.
This week especially.
This week especially,
Specifically today as we record.
Yeah. Well, if when you're hearing this, hopefully the election results will be done and dusted, and we'll know who our next fearless leader is.
Possibly.
Well, maybe. Yeah.
There's no way there'll be any kind of controversy or speculation. No way. It'll be cut and dry.
Yeah. But we'll save that entertainment for a different time. If you want our brand of entertainment, head on to our entertainment Twitter handle at WeekendologyENT or at WeekendologyEnt.
Like the trees.
Like the trees from The Lord of the Rings. Carry Merry and Pippin on their backs for miles as they go through the forest, and sad when they find out all their stuff been burned down.
What a way to take out characters in a movie.
I know, right?
They just erased Merry and Pippin, kind of, from the storyline. But they still got screen time. Very interesting.
They had that weird subplot.
It's kind of like, you guys aren't needed anymore, but it was almost like with the actors, like, hey, we don't really need you anymore. The storyline took a different turn, but we owe you money. So here, you can be on these pointless scenes of you getting carried by a tree.
If you had trouble following that in the movie, like, I couldn't follow it in the book, and the book is just a encyclopedia of weird knowledge and that lore and
pointless characters,
universe, pointless characters.
Scenes.
There's like 9 million characters. It's like
those books don't need to be that long.
No.
The movies also don't need to be 3 hours long. You could cut that, as most movies, and we'll get into this on today's topic.
You could, yeah.
But you could cut that in half and still get the gist of the movie.
You probably could, but I mean, The Lord of the Rings weren't as bad as the Game of Thrones, though.
No. Oh, no.
Oh, those were terrible.
I'm all JRR all the way.
Yeah. No, the Game of Thrones had way too many characters, and that was really bad. So sorry for all of you Game of
not
Thrones
George
lovers
R.R.
out there, but no, screw that guy.
He stole that too. You can't be stealing RRs.
Yeah, just Mr. RR Railroad Man. I don't know.
Rest and relaxation.
Yes, rest.
He looks like he gets a lot of it.
He definitely does. So, but yeah, head on over to our social handles. If you really want to go and follow our Facebook page, you're welcome to. We're at Weekendology Podcast.
If you really want to do that.
Well, Facebook isn't as popular nowadays, and Twitter is the sanctuary, as you said. So
it might be. I feel like it's more popular. People hop on that to vent.
That is true. If you want to vent about things that you like to see change or you disagree with our opinions, then go on over to our page and vent about it.
Yeah, bring on the hate.
We'd love to hear from you. And make sure to rate, comment, subscribe wherever you listen to. Hit that subscribe or follow button. Show us your support. Really helps us churn out some new episodes. And
get to the top of the charts.
That's top of the charts, why don't you, laddie? Oh, that turned into like an old 1920s to like a weird Irish accent.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was very Irish.
I can't do accents very well. So
were you trying to do like a Humphrey Bogart type?
Yeah, top of the charts there.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
You want to get to the top of the charts, kid? I know how to get you there.
I don't know why I said laddie at the end of that. But moving on to the pick of the week now, Aaron. We're moving on. My pick of the week is probably an old show, but just had a second season that just was released not too long ago. It's The Umbrella Academy.
Yeah,
have you ever seen that?
I've seen parts. Is that old? I thought it was new because I've been seeing people talk about it.
So the first season came out a couple years back, and the second season just was released this year. First season was really good.
So it's still going?
Yeah, it's still going. It's a Netflix
show.
original. It's believe it or not created by the lead singer of My Chemical Romance, Gerard Way.
Oh.
Yeah, he did the graphic novel for it and created all that, drew it and wrote it and all that kind of stuff. And they had, like they always do, adapted towards a live action screenplay, and here we are. So
it's really interesting. He just ended his band and then he went and started doing like stuff like that. I mean, more power to him. That's pretty cool because like. It's just fascinating though. It's like he had a good thing going with that band. I don't like them personally, but
they were a high school band for me. So
yeah, well, I've been told I listen to high school music still, but even in high school or whenever, I couldn't get into them. They're also, if you want to hear my music rants on our bonus episodes, what the kids call emo, and they're definitely not emo at all. That's not emo music. That's like...
Well, you have a weird definition of emo.
I have the true definition of emo.
Back then, it was just, us to listen to angsty music and what we thought were,
yeah, it's just,
edgy, different.
I think, too, that's why I couldn't get into them, because it was like... People were like, oh, it's emo music. And even back then, I was like, this isn't emo. Like, it's not American football, man. It's different. Like... But
I don't know. But yeah, Umbrella Academy, go check it out. Season 2 is
So is it dark?
It's a bit dark. It's still in line with the superhero genre, but I say that loosely because
it's like about kids and they have
it's like they
superpowers,
have
right?
powers and
but
stuff.
Like orphans.
But they are orphans.
Okay.
They're like, I don't know, 5, 6. I think it's 5 or 6 different people who were all born at the exact same time. And the mothers were not pregnant at all, which is weird. It's like a weird immaculate conception type of thing. And they're all born with powers, and they were adopted by this eccentric, weird British dude, and had the superhero crime-fighting force, back in the day, and it picks up like 20 years after. And it's a pretty good show, though. It's very interesting, and it's very...
So is this a Gerard Way, like, directed show, or is he just, like...
No, I don't think
he created the story.
He didn't direct it. He created the story and all the characters and so on and so forth. So it used to be a graphic
Stan
novel.
Lee'd it.
Stan Lee created a lot of things, yes. He never directed, so yeah. Stan Lee'd it, yeah.
Okay.
I guess. So, what's your pick of the week, though, this week, Aaron?
I'm kicking it old school this week. Like
old school,
yeah.
Oh, boy.
Picking Frasier.
Whoa, Frasier.
Yep.
There we go. That's a show I haven't seen in a while.
Oh, well, that's my pick of the week for everyone to get back to it.
I think you can stream it on, what, CBS now?
It's on Hulu.
Oh, Hulu now,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's on Hulu. Go check it out. It's still funny as ever. Timeless classic. I didn't know. It went till 2004. Did you know it went that long?
No, I thought it ended in like the 90s or something.
I mean, it's one of those, it's the prototypical 90s show.
Yeah.
I feel like it gets lumped in there with like a Seinfeld or any
Isn't
of those
it
old ones. But
who's the dude? Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And,
I didn't know it lasted that long. Wow.
Yeah, and David Hyde Pierce as Niles.
that's
Very
right.
underrated comedian, David Hyde Pierce.
Is that when did Seinfeld end?
97.
Oh, so that was like a late 90s.
That was like 90 to 97, and the big controversy was they were the number one show, and Jerry was just like, I'm done. And he ended it, which probably a good decision though, because no one badmouthed Seinfeld.
I always thought Seinfeld went on for like 20 years or something. Seems to be an endless amount of episodes.
It definitely is one of those shows. I think if it went longer, it probably could have done one or two more. But after that, it would have just been, okay, enough. We got it. Whereas Frasier, to me, I like it better. And I'm finding I like it better now that I'm rewatching it. It's got a good storyline. There's actual depth to the characters.
Well, that's good then.
It's not just about, hey, like a lot of these 90s sitcoms, it's not just about people just hanging out and whatever. It's more, it's deeper than that.
You want to go into some really good character-driven moments from 90s sitcoms. Go rewatch The Fresh Prince.
Ooh, I love that show.
That show, there's some moments in there where you literally are I start tearing up, and when Will's talking about his dad on the show and why he didn't want him and everything.
Yeah, they cover some. Fresh Prince actually does.
They do
cover
some great
serious
stuff,
topics.
and the series finale was really, really emotional. Obviously, because it was ending, but there's some great moments in that
where
show
he's standing in the
sprinkled
house.
throughout. Yeah, where the meme is, and he's like, "Where is everybody?" and everything. But go back and rewatch that show, and that is a very, very emotional show at some points, and you'll be like, "Wow, this was a I don't know what network it was on back in the day, but
one of those.
This was a network TV show that was supposed to be a bunch of fun and silly, and they cover some good stuff. So
good cast in that one too.
Very good.
Alfonso
cast.
Ribeiro, he's talented. He's funny.
Rest in peace,
Carlton.
Yes, Carlton. R.I.P. James Avery, though, for it. Uncle Phil.
Oh, yeah.
He passed away a couple years ago, sadly. Yeah. So I always wanted them to do a reunion show or a quick get back together, but I don't think they ever will now that I don't know.
I feel like, too, it would be...
Will Smith's too popular.
Yeah, it'd be kind of like, oh, here's Will Smith. That's the only one people want to talk to.
Yeah.
But.
Well, speaking of Will Smith, we're going to be talking about a lot of Will Smith movies today. And if you can't guess by the origin of the title, we're talking about movies that definitely need sequels, especially with the holidays approaching. And usually it's a time of blockbusters coming out during Christmas and Thanksgiving time. Movie theaters remain kind of vacant and absent. So we thought we'd take a look at some of the movies that really need sequels. And it's kind of opposite from what we've done in the past, Aaron. Where
movies that don't need to. Movies need to stop.
Yeah, Hollywood usually
wasn't our old episode entirely stop making sequels.
Yep. Yeah. So go check out our last episode on this. Has Hollywood become boring? Where we rifle off a lot of the movie franchises and sequels that didn't need to happen. Mm-hmm. But today we're flipping the script and we're doing stuff that movies do need.
I guess it's more. It's not necessarily they all need to stop having sequels. It's just pick and choose your spots. Certain movies definitely don't need sequels. Just one and done. Like Seinfeld. Just stop it. The going's good. Just end it. But then there's other ones that, like Frasier, you can keep them going.
Yeah.
Keep them.
Sometimes a plot is
developing.
The characters are really unique. A premise is really, really great. And, a good movie should want you leaving more at the end. But
in some, it's there's so many unanswered questions. You're like, okay, where is this going? And I hate, my biggest pet peeve, when movies leave it up to you and then don't answer the questions and they just let you decide.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that in a couple different movies, but others are just I really want to see what happens. I want to see these characters continue, and I want to see them, I guess, do other adventures, or
they could have been developed more.
Yeah, it could have been
developed. Or maybe there's another
more
character that could have been developed.
Exactly, yeah. The universe could have been expanded upon a lot. And so that's what we're talking about. So I have my list. Aaron's got his list. We'll probably have a few comparisons and a few contrasts and
I don't have many, but...
That's okay.
Because I'm not a big sequel guy, I'm all for less sequels, the better. However, there's a few that I'm on board. And it's not so much there needs to absolutely be a sequel, but it's more it would be nice to if they released a sequel. I would watch it.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to kick it off with the first movie on my list, which is actually a really good movie, District 9.
Ooh, yeah.
Great movie. If you guys haven't seen it, it takes place in South Africa, and the main guy, like, there's aliens and stuff that have landed and been around for 20 years, and they're all forced in kind of like slum shanty towns and stuff, and they're oppressed by the government, so on and so forth. And this guy uncovers like a conspiracy and stuff, and gets infected with some alien goo or whatever, and it starts turning him into an alien.
I would say the most creative sci-fi movie I've ever seen.
It is very, very unique.
It's not really based on anything. I mean, maybe it is, but to my knowledge, it wasn't when I was watching it. And just, it's not cheesy. You know, the aliens are really different. Like, the graphics are good. It's an awesome movie. I loved it.
I love that movie, and the ending was a little bit ambiguous with it. I don't want to, full-on spoilers for every movie that we talk about here.
That movie's been out for like 15 years.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen it by now, then too bad. And if you're listening to this podcast, you just assume that there's going to be spoilers in it. So, forewarning for you ever right there. But
all these movies we're talking about are not like out right now, so
they're not new.
You've had time.
Actually, there's no new movies out right now. So, but like at the end, he gets turned into an alien, and then you see him at the last shot. Like, he's a full-fledged, a bug alien creature, and the other alien that he was helping escape back to his homeworld, like they do so. So I'd love to see them come back and turn him back into a human, or him go to their planet and, I don't know, assimilate into their life, or get revenge on the shitty humans who were doing them wrong or something. So I feel like that movie was like waiting for a sequel, and it just never happened. Like, they set it up.
Well, didn't the director say he was going to do it, and then it just never got around to it or something?
Yeah, I think so. So
I thought maybe he was just tossing the idea around it, probably because people were telling him.
Yeah, Neil Blomkamp directed it. It was produced by Peter Jackson actually as well. Talking about all the Lord of the Rings guys, yeah. I guess it just never happened. So unfortunately,
I think too, I would venture to guess it's expensive to make those movies because it was so heavily involved with graphics and
a lot of CG for the aliens.
Yeah,
and stuff too.
I feel like a lot of production went into it, so it probably came down to, it's not worth all the effort. And it's so tough too because like it was such a good movie, it was received so well. You don't want to ruin the legacy and make something that's... Because I feel like with movies like that, sci-fi movies, aliens specifically, it's so... There's not much room for error. It's so easy to make those cheesy or predictable or like another sci-fi movie. And so I feel like it was smart that... I'm with you. I agree. They should make a sequel because what do you got to lose at this point? I mean, it was well received. If it sucks, whatever. Hey, we have the first one.
I mean, you got the first one to back up. So
yeah, I just think I feel like that was the reasoning behind it, where they're like, no, we want to just keep it as is. But there was a lot more you could do with it, and it was such a creative storyline.
Yeah, I thought it was really.
You could take that another avenue. Maybe do aliens from another planet.
Something like that. Yeah. I think.
Or they go to a different part of the country. They're not in South Africa. It'd
be cool to see if there was other alien settlements, like in America or I don't know, Africa, or I don't know, somewhere else as far from South Africa.
Especially a lot of the sequels, I feel like that come out because my beef with these sequels, where I hate when they wait 10 years and then put the sequel out.
It's like longer. They should have done it, but then they were like, okay, we've waited a really long time. People really want it, so we're just going to do it.
Yeah, I don't like that. To me, if you make a sequel, either do it right away, and then it can be similar to the first movie, or if you're going to wait 10 years, okay, you've had ample time to make it. And so that's why if they put out a District 9 sequel, I'd be fine with it. That'd be awesome, because it's been long enough, even if it is super different than the first one, that's fine. It's been a long time. It doesn't need to go hand in hand with that first one.
I agree. Here's another one you might not agree with, but I'd love to see a second sequel for it. Would be Hitch with Will Smith and Eva Mendes.
I'm on board.
Are you on board for that?
Sure.
Okay.
Didn't we talk about this?
We might have.
I think
I'd love to see another movie with Will Smith.
I feel like we talk about Hitch quite a bit, actually.
I love Hitch. It's
more than
the
average
movie.
Two dudes.
Hitch is one of my favorite movies.
This is a Hitch podcast now.
It is, yes. I'd love to see them expand upon the dating business and, I guess run it together or do their thing
also,
or whatever.
What a cast.
Oh, it's an all-star cast. I mean,
Will Smith, Kevin James, Eva Mendes. You're not going to get those three.
No.
You need to take what you can get. I mean,
I
every
guess
opportunity you can get those three together.
I guess Kevin James could come back, but
he'll definitely come back. That dude will work for anything.
That's true. He'll be in any
Paul
movie.
Blarts.
He did.
He'll do another Hitch.
He was in Hubie Halloween, so
the Halloween classic.
I don't know about that.
Hey, now that you've seen all of Hubie Halloween, come on.
It wasn't as bad as I thought.
Thank you. All right, I'll take it.
So, but I still wouldn't have.
No, say no more. It's not as bad as you thought. So you mean you liked it?
Yeah,
that's what you really.
I'd love to see a second Hitch though. I think it'd be cool for them to, I don't know, modernize it. Maybe do like an online version of like the dating game or the whatever services he provided.
I think too it'd be funny because he always talked about all his clients. It would be funny. You could bring. Well, didn't Kevin James got with a legger in the end, right?
He did, yeah. But I'd love to see some of his other clients, too.
Right, that's what I was
going
to
say. Maybe like a star cameo by somebody else. Like
you could,
Ryan Gosling, like he used to be like a really like, I don't know, ugly or not a good guy with the ladies or something. And then like Will
Ryan
Smith.
Reynolds in, what's that Christmas movie?
Just Friends. Yeah. I'd love to see that. That would be cool if there's like some star cameos by some people and just like quick shots of like, used to be an old client of mine and it's like George Clooney or something or like some dude who you think would be good with the ladies.
Well, and that's the thing, like there's enough room there. You can make it stupid. It doesn't need to be great. It's a sequel to a comedy. Like
you can name it like Hitched Again, or I don't know, not Hitched 2. Like I don't know, like
something a little more creative. But showing his business overall. Maybe you could have Kevin James kind of be the expert, because he was kind of the dopey guy.
Do
in
the
finances
and stuff for the business.
Yeah, have him work for Hitch, and then that'd
be so great. Yeah,
let's produce it.
Let's do it. Let's write the script right now. Send it off to Will Smith and be like, "Look, man, this is happening." So a lot of my rights for scripts would be Will Smith included. So
we could do some drama in the movie and have an entanglement.
Oh. An entanglement,
yes. That's a Jada Pinkett Smith shot right there.
Poor Will Smith. I watched that video of Jada Pinkett Smith just like totally roasting him for like 4 minutes, and that was brutal. Like, poor man.
Yeah, it just makes me think of Ross and Friends. We were on a break.
Yeah. All right, let's see what else. I got Step Brothers 2. What do you think of this?
Oh wow, I didn't see that on the list.
Yeah, I need to see some more of the Pinta Maria and the Santa Maria. I need more of that. So I need more of Prestige Worldwide.
I want to see more of D-Man Realty. I want to see it.
I'd love to see what happens.
I want to see them on the boat that he was talking about with not just the cubes. We had everybody. We had Daughtry, Super Chef Bobby Flay.
Yeah.
I want to see some of those scenes.
I would love to see them like. I mean, they could easily.
Where do you take that though? That's the thing, because people have brought that up before. But where do you take that? Because that is definitely a movie that ended, and we know how it ended.
I mean,
what are they going to
do?
Keep living in the house with the parents?
No, they could do a Step Brothers 2 where they go off and I don't know, live together or something, in an apartment or a house or something. So not with their parents, but with
my only reservation on that is think how awful, just god awful Anchorman 2 was.
I mean, yeah, so
it would go down that road. Because there's not much, and this is how I thought about Anchorman. However, the one scene I love in Anchorman 2 was I'm blind.
I've never seen Anchorman 2, it could very well turn into a horrible movie.
Anchorman 2, I will say, has some gold scenes in it. It's got some good bits and pieces you can pull out and quote, and it's funny. But as a whole, it's super long, and it just wasn't needed. And I feel like with Step Brothers, same deal. It's Will Ferrell, so you're going to get good quotes. But overall, it's just going to be we're not going to watch that one, Yeah. Because there's just nothing you can do with it. It is what it is in the first one.
I guess. You don't want to tarnish the legacy of the first one. But
and just it's going to be the same thing. It's like a lot of Will Ferrell movies. It is what it is, so then you take it to a sequel, and it's going to be the same jokes, same humor for all the actors in it. I feel like it's a fun idea. But
Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly though together, they're
great combo.
They're a great combo.
They need to do more movies together. It's not enough.
I agree. Yeah. What else I got? Do you ever see Bridesmaids?
I don't like that movie.
No, so
seen it twice too. I saw it.
You don't like the movie, or
no? I saw it once in a drive-in theater. Actually,
oh, okay.
Fun fact. Didn't like it then, and that was like in high school. So I was like, okay, well, maybe it's been a long time. Maybe my humor has changed. Whatever. People always ripped at me too. They're like, oh, it's so good. You got to watch it again. I watched it again. Same thoughts. It was a little funnier than I originally thought the first time. But it's a depressing movie, man.
It is kind of depressing, but this is one of those movies where I literally thought for the longest time there was 3 sequels made after it. So I was like, after I watched the first one, I was
3 sequels?
I thought there was like Bridesmaids 1, 2, and 3.
Oh wow! And, like a Hangover.
But I didn't know there was only one, so I was like, well, I'll watch the second one now, Bridesmaids 2, and see what happens. I was like, there is no Bridesmaids 2. I was like, I thought for sure like this would be an easy setup for a second or third or fourth movie.
That
to
movie
be made
also
with this.
is so unfairly compared to The Hangover. I can't take it anymore.
No, Hangover is much better than
exactly.
Bridesmaids.
Yeah, and every girl has always told me, "Oh, it's like the girl version of The Hangover." No, it's not. The Hangover is great. All 3 of them are great, and I will die on that.
Take that to your grave.
Yeah, I will take. Yeah, whatever the expression is. They got me heated right now. I can't even think straight.
He's super
All
pissed.
3 are classics. All 3, I'm just rolling the whole movies. Yeah, don't ever compare Bridesmaids to Hangover.
I mean,
Bradley Cooper is Oscar winning.
He is, yeah. Who's the dude who plays Doug? Justin Bartra or whatever his name is?
I just know him as Doug. Whenever I see him in other stuff, I'm like, hey, that's Doug.
He's in National Treasure.
Oh, that's right.
1 and 2. Yeah, he plays the smart dude in National Treasure. And
Ed Helms. He's hilarious.
I always
Zach
thought
Galifianakis, of course.
I mean, great all-star cast as well. So
Jeffrey Tambor is in it.
Oh, he is. That's right.
Did he die recently?
I don't know. He could be dead. He could come back as a ghost, though.
Yeah,
he's one of those guys where like he could be dead and be like, I would never know. So I don't know. Poor guy.
Ken Jeong.
Yeah, Ken Jeong's in it. Yeah, but they made 3 hangovers already, so they're good on. They don't need any more of those.
I will say that. Okay, if you're gonna make a sequel of a dumb comedy, that's the model. I understand the jokes are very similar. The movies, the plots are very similar. However, there are actual plot changes. The third one, and this is why I give the third one a lot of credit, it really ties it up. It does tie the story together. It wasn't just individual movies they made.
Yeah.
You pretty much have to see them in order, and it would make sense to see them in order, and it's funnier if you see them in order. It's not just like a money grab. They didn't just make them to make them, and so I think every dumb comedy you're going to do a sequel, like Step Brothers, you have to follow what Hangover did.
I mean, you could do that for Bridesmaids too, and have somebody else get married.
I just didn't like it. I think that's my reservation there.
Well, there were some funny moments into it, but I definitely thought that there would be multiple sequels of it, and that never happened. So,
who's the lead actress in that?
It's the dude from SNL, the girl from SNL. I don't know. Oh, let's look it up here. Bridesmaids 2 came in 2011.
So I must see
Kristen Wiig.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Duh. Kristen Wiig.
Little hands.
Tiny baby hands.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see a sequel for that one. Here's another one. Wanted. You ever see this movie?
Oh, yeah. That's a Josh Hartnett, right? Angelina Jolie,
James
Morgan
McAvoy,
Freeman?
and Angelina Jolie.
Okay.
Yeah. So this movie's all about like. I was very shocked this movie never got a sequel as well. It's got so much lore and universe in it about the Society of Assassins.
Because they kill Morgan Freeman in the end, so like you can't have a movie without Morgan Freeman.
They've been an organization for thousands of years, and
they could do a prequel. I feel like
they definitely
they
could do a prequel. Yeah, I'd love to see like the origins of how it all started, or what James McAvoy's character does after he kills Morgan Freeman. If he goes on to still be an assassin, or if he's running from the rest of the organization, or if he does some other weird spy crap or whatever. So
it's such a good movie too. I feel like. And very underrated, also. I don't know a lot of people have
seen
it. It
is very underrated. There's a video game that came out for it, like, way, way back in the day. And the game was actually really good, too.
Huh.
Yeah, like, they had all the original actors and actresses voice their characters, and
that's cool.
Morgan Freeman was in it, and it was a great movie.
Heck
and
yeah.
That's where you bend the bullet and everything.
Oh,
like,
yeah. No,
totally impossible.
Hey,
but
that's the thing. If Matrix can get sequels. This is gonna get a sequel.
Matrix 4 is coming out.
Yeah,
like
stupid. Stop
freaking
it.
sign Wanted 2 up and let's Wanted again. Call it Wanted again or something.
Well, I loved Angelina Jolie's character in it. She did a great job in that movie.
Did she die in the end? Or did she live?
I think she lived. It's been forever.
I know. I haven't seen this movie in.
I just
probably
remember
5 years.
Morgan Freeman dying in the end.
He did because they did the whole
shot.
slow motion of him getting his head blown off and everything. But yeah, there was so like, and his dad was an assassin too, so they could go into that storyline and like how
it's definitely you could do like a universe, Wanted.
You totally could.
I feel like it's because the reception of it, because not a lot of people saw it, or maybe they did, but like it's not as beloved.
Yeah.
You don't hear people talking about that as much. It's not like a classic for some reason. So I feel like that's why they didn't.
I think it's based off of a graphic novel or something.
Was it the guy who
time
directed
ago?
Sin City?
I think so.
It seems
something like that. Yeah, but yeah, there was so much they could have done with it, and yeah, very very sad that no Wanted 2. So oh well. Back over to Will Smith, Hancock. You ever see this one?
Didn't like that movie.
No, you didn't like Hancock?
Nah, that was a bummer for me.
Oh,
that was
man.
a movie I remember when it came out. It got promoted like crazy.
It was good. I thought it was good.
Burger King had promotions on the cups, and it was just shoved in your face. It was one of those movies that were like, it was a summer movie, I believe.
Yeah.
And they just were like, oh my god, just go see this movie. And then you go see it, and you're like, nah, whatever.
There wasn't a whole lot of like superhero scenes for Will Smith in it.
Yeah,
it was
like they could have done
things,
so much more with it.
I'd love to see them go into more depth of like.
I bet
the
if you asked
lore
Will
of,
Smith, he says it wasn't even a good movie.
Probably. I mean, it probably wasn't on his favorites or whatever of movies he's done, but Jason Bateman was in it. Charlize Theron was in it.
See, I don't remember.
Will Smith.
I saw it in theaters. I just don't remember.
So the basic plot was like he's a superhero who has amazing powers.
He's like a drunk, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's like a bad super. He's like a drunk. He's a drug addict. Like I don't know. He saves people, but he's like he doesn't really give a shit about anything.
Yeah,
and then he meets Jason Bateman's character.
Kind of like Deadpool in a way.
Kind of, yeah. And he cleans up his act, but then Charlize Theron is like his counterpart to like they're like old demigods or something from way back in the Greek ages or whatever. And,
yeah, I thought it had an interesting plot. It just I don't know. Just I couldn't get into the movie when I watched it, and I thought it was kind of a waste of Will Smith. They could have gotten another actor to play him.
Yeah, Will Smith kind of does well at that kind of like, no, get off of me type of thing. Like I don't need that, but he's also like got that heroic side to him. So
because people love him.
Yeah, he's such a lovable character, and I thought it was a good movie, and I definitely thought that they were gonna make a second movie. Go into other things, other bad guys he's got to fight, and I thought it was good enough for a second one. So I don't know. All right, what do you got? You got something on your list?
I do. I have a couple.
All right.
The Gray, Liam Neeson.
Oh, I've never seen that movie, but I've heard it's really, really good.
I don't want to talk about it then because I don't want to give away the ending.
I think I know what the ending is, though. Doesn't he die at the end?
No one knows.
Oh, so it's one. I thought you didn't like ambiguous endings, Aaron.
I don't, and this is why I want a sequel. So I was debating about this with a buddy of mine once because he's like, no, he clearly died. So he's trapped in the Canadian or Alaska wilderness.
Yeah.
And it's a typical Liam Neeson movie. There's nothing new. It's, I could have been a better father, and
does his daughter get kidnapped by wolves and stuff?
Pretty
and
much. It's the whole old Liam
ninja
Neeson
his
plot.
way through.
But but then
I'm coming for you, wolves.
He's got to redeem himself, and he's got to get out of the wilderness.
Yeah.
In the end, I'll just give it away. In the end, he's surrounded by a pack of wolves.
And then, that's the last scene. It's like Soprano style, cut to black.
So the last scene, he breaks a bottle, and he's got
he's like surrounded
shards
of
glass.
He's like
Wolverine
I'm cut
style.
you damn wolves, and
he doesn't. He's just standing there, and you're like, well, he's dead. But then they show his hand. He's holding the broken bottle.
Yeah,
and he's Liam Neeson, so. He's like, of course he's got the skills,
Yeah, he's got ninja
particular
skills.
set of skills,
His ninja skills translate from movie to movie.
Right, so it's like he easily could have, which is hilarious, dude, because he's getting older, and it's kind of like
75 years old.
It's kind of like Arnold, these dudes get older, and they still miraculously have these amazing skills, can beat people up. It's like, dude, you're like 80. Like,
this man still
break your hip
there,
Gramps. But
right.
yeah, you don't know. You know, it's like, well, he could have died because he's surrounded by wolves. However, he's Liam Neeson. He's got the bottle. It's almost inferred he's going to win.
That's true.
So let's go with that one.
All right.
He wins. Okay.
So it picks up right after the first movie ends, and he's got to like trudge his way through the wilderness again, and I don't know, fight off a pack of some bears this time,
or he gets saved, and then you could just create a whole different storyline with it, like add to the storyline.
He's just got major PTSD from
Yeah,
slicing a bunch of wolves in half.
And then you could take it into you just make another Liam Neeson movie. You know?
Yeah, just do another one.
But just answer it. You know, I loved that movie, but I hated the endings. I'm like, no, like you don't know how it ends, and that's the point. But still,
I need to go and watch this movie.
It's
now,
good.
So.
It's especially for Liam Neeson's one of those actors, man. I like him, but I hate how he does the same movie over and over again. But The Grey is a really good movie.
Like it's like a different one he's done. So.
It's a little different where you're still interested, and it's just a fun movie to watch.
Yeah. Did you ever see I Am Legend?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked.
What'd you think of it? You liked it?
Yeah. No. That was one of my favorite Will Smith.
Okay.
movies.
Good.
That's a good one.
I always thought they were going to make another one off of this too, but I understand why they didn't. Obviously, Will Smith dies in the end, but they wrote an ending where he survived.
Yeah.
And which I thought was really cool. So I'd love to see them do a second one where he catches up to the lady where he gives him his blood, which is supposedly the cure, and he catches up with them, has to fight more zombies or I don't know, other creatures as they say. And there's so much into that movie. Like they pack so much into it, and
they could have cut that in half. I feel like
they could easily expand the universe, go into a second one, and I don't know. I'd love to see I Am Legend 2. Thought that'd be pretty cool. Last Man on Earth,
really
supposedly.
A legend.
He is really a legend, but that was one of those movies where just like I never get tired of watching that. I'm like, I Am Legend's on. Sweet, I'm gonna watch this now.
He does so well too, and like those emotional, when he really has to like get really sad.
Yeah.
He's a great actor, man.
He's such a great actor. I feel like he had a stretch between like 2005 to like 2015 where he was just killing it on every movie he was in.
Well, because they were giving him more serious roles.
Yeah.
I think that was the thing. He was trying to shed his, I'm not a goofy Fresh Prince or even Men in Black or Wild Wild West. Even those movies.
Oh, those movies were so good. He crushed it.
But see, like he was still doing kind of the goofy, like I'm the cool hip goofy guy, And then I feel like he in the mid 2000s, late 2000s, he was like, hey, I need to do like real serious emotional.
One movie I did see him in was really good was Gemini Man. We went and saw that together.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great movie
good.
too.
That was a movie though. I will say, like a lot of hype and a lot of expectations, I guess, that I put on it. And then when I saw it, I was like, it's all right.
I mean, it was another like action movie and stuff, but I thought the premise was really cool. They had a cool little gimmick in it of him being cloned.
However, they did the younger Will Smith.
Oh, the CGI, yeah.
I don't know how they did that, but that was awesome.
It was pretty good. I'd like to see a second one with that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, you could do it, but I wouldn't. I don't think it'd be very good.
Yeah. What about World War Z? Did you ever see that?
I never
movie?
saw that. No.
That's a great movie. It's got everybody loves Brad Pitt and
of course,
zombie movies and so I guess prevalent nowadays, but that was one of those movies where if you read the book, it diverted so drastically from the book. You're like, what is this? Is this even, based off of the source material? But it was
good though.
It was a good movie.
I like when they do that.
Yeah. And they could easily go into, how they fend off the zombies across the world and I don't know.
Kind of reminded me, just from what I've heard about it, of War of the Worlds.
It's kind of like War of the Worlds, but War of the Worlds is aliens, though, and
no, I know, but he's got his daughter, and
and the
way
way that they beat the enemies, so to speak, is quote unquote a natural phenomenon. So yeah, it's kind of like War of the Worlds in that way. But yeah, World War Z, I'd love to see another movie like that.
Is that called World War Z because of World War Zombie?
Yes, I believe so. But the book was really, really good too. It was like took a overarching look at different stories from around the world, from people surviving the zombie apocalypse, and Max Brooks wrote it. So
I want to watch it. I've had it my. I feel like for 10 years I've had it on my list to watch. I never got around to it.
Just add it to the list, Aaron.
Add it to the list.
The list that you'll never.
It looks
get
good though.
through,
It looks like a movie I'd enjoy.
It is.
I like
a very
Pitt a
enjoyable movie. So I've seen it like 9 times. Seen it way too many times. What else? What's another one on your list?
I got Lucky Number 11. Did you ever see that movie?
Lucky Number 11?
Yeah.
I thought it was Lucky Number 7.
No.
Oh. I've never seen it, so.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I don't know.
No, that's a Josh Hartnett movie.
Oh, okay.
So I get those
What's
guys
Lucky
mixed
Number
up.
11 about?
So it is. Oh, Bruce Willis is also in it.
Oh, Bruce Willis is in it?
Oh yeah. Oh,
can you see dead people?
He's
Can you see
great.
dead people? Is he a ghost at the end, or
He never saw the dead people. That's
he was a
Haley
ghost?
Joel Osment. Yeah.
Bruce Willis was a ghost the whole time.
Yeah. No, he's
He's
not.
probably-
He's not a ghost.
He's
in this
still
one.
a ghost now.
He,
The ghost of his former career.
Hey, yeah, I guess. Yeah. Oh man, after that one we watched where he's trapped in the hospital.
Oh god, that was such
That
a
was
bad movie.
Brutal.
He must have just needed like a quick payday, or he lost a bet or something, and
What was that called?
emergency, or I don't know, alarm or something. I don't know. 911.
That's definitely not. Those are definitely not.
It
what
was something
called.
stupid like that.
Ambulance. What are more hospital?
Fire
type-
rescue.
Yeah, that definitely made me rethink Bruce Willis.
Yes.
So the plot online says a case of mistaken identity puts a man named Slevin, Josh Hartnett, in the middle of a war between two rival New York crime lords. The rabbi, Ben Kingsley, you know him?
Yes, I know Ben Kingsley.
I feel like that's someone you'd know. And the boss, your boy Morgan Freeman.
Morgan
See,
Freeman.
great cast. While under the watchful eyes of Detective Burkowski, Stanley Tucci,
Oh, Stanley Tucci's in it too.
and well-known assassin Bruce Willis. So yeah,
Nice.
it's great. It's very entertaining, very quirky movie.
Okay.
It's just one of those movies. Again, I feel like it's underrated for some reason. I feel like it was underrated because people didn't really know what it was. It's an action movie, but it's very
Does it have like comedic moments in it?
kind
or-
of, yeah. And that's a thing. I swear Lucy Liu is in it.
Lucy Liu?
I
No way.
swear she is.
What has she been up to in her career lately?
She was on Billy on the Street actually recently, and that was. I got to look this up, see if she's in it. I swear she is, but I might be wrong on that. But it's a great movie. It's really, like I said, it's yeah, she is. She's in it. She does a good job too. But good cast. But it wasn't too much. You know, the cast they picked were
Right.
smart. So it wasn't like, hey, we're just gonna throw a bunch of big name actors in it. And the writing is like it's kind of funny. It's kind of quirky, goofy at parts, but then there's also parts where it's like really serious, really
Nice.
suspenseful, action packed. It's just a little bit of everything, and it's not too much of anything.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a movie I think they could do again because there's a lot of different avenues that they could go with
Right.
it, and also it like I said, it's kind of action, kind of comedy, I guess you could say, kind of suspense. So you could make the sequel different from the first one.
Okay. I'll definitely check it out. Yeah, Lucky
Yeah,
Number
highly
11.
recommend.
Did you ever see the movie Jumper
Yes,
with Hayden Christensen or Anakin Skywalker?
and
This is-
Samuel L. Jackson, right?
Samuel L. Jackson is in it as well. Yeah, I love that.
Been a
movie,
long
and-
time.
Yeah, that movie came out a long time ago, but he is. I thought, what a cool concept! Like, just teleport anywhere that you want to, like instantaneously,
Yeah.
and like they could go way in depth of how the mother was involved in the organization that wanted to kill all the jumpers and people who could teleport, and I think the lady was Rachel Bilson in that flick who played the love interest too.
I don't remember. It's been
pretty sure
I've seen
that
it
was her.
once, and I remember liking it, but it's one of those movies like I don't remember it for some reason. You know,
You should go back and rewatch it. It's much better than people. It's much better than I remember it. I don't know. People don't give it enough credit and everything. I mean, it's kind of dumb in some parts. Like it's very much a mid 2000s like sci-fi kind of movie like that. But it's
not supposed to. And that's the thing with I feel like people need to stop judging movies so heavily because they're like, whoa, that's goofy or that's whatever. Some movies aren't supposed to be super incredibly well made, serious. They're just supposed to be fun sometimes.
You're supposed to be entertaining and cool concept, cool universe.
I can't
behind
picture
it.
Hayden Christensen without his rat tail, though.
I can't picture Hayden Christensen in any role actually after 2013. So that's the
What
end
else
of
is he
him.
in?
He's in actually another movie that it's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's called Shattered Glass, where he plays this
heard of it.
He plays this reporter, and he makes up and embellishes all of these fantastic stories, and so he wins like all these awards and he gains a lot of recognition and gets a lot of advancement in his career. But I think Stellan Skarsgård, I think, is in it. I'm correct. I don't know. I might be wrong on that, but he basically he gets uncovered as he's a liar, and it's such a phenomenal movie, though. So yeah, Shattered Glass is a great flick.
I remember when it came out. I remember the previews, but
yeah, go watch that movie because that's a great movie. I might have to go rewatch it here soon enough. So
I need to catch up on my Hayden Christensen movie.
Yeah, that's the only other movies I know that he's been in.
Star Wars. That's
Star Wars.
Rat Tail.
Jumper and Shattered Glass, and that's it.
Huh. Well, okay, so I've seen 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3. So another one that's kind of like it is Push, but this time with my boy Chris Evans. He's got
I know that one.
like telekinetic abilities. It's another movie about people with powers. Dakota Fanning's in it. What's his name? Jijmin Hansu or whatever.
Sure, you just pronounced that perfectly.
I'm sure I did too. He's he's in it too, but he's got telekinetic powers, and they go up against another cookie cutter organization that wants to kill him and everything. But
see what
that was a big movie that had like a large universe that could have been expanded into. It was Push.
With movies like that, I feel like, if it's cookie cutter, you can make a sequel.
Oh yeah, like there's totally more story to be told, and
right.
I mean, it's again another mid 2000s sci-fi action movie that's kind of like weird like that in some areas.
But I just feel like
unique.
Yeah. If it's that unique, if it's a simple enough plot where it's a typical action movie, but it's a unique storyline, that's very easy to make a sequel with. That will be good.
The cool thing about it was very colorful. Like there was the colors that they used in the movie was like they were very vibrant and they popped really well, which for some reason, and that, I don't know, got a lot of recognition or attention, I guess, back in the day. And
so that reminded me of another movie that I now want a sequel. I didn't think about this before. Nerve.
Oh yeah, with
Dave Franco.
Dave Franco and what's her name? Emily. She was Emily Roberts or something. Or
Emma Roberts.
Emma Roberts. Yeah. That was a good movie too. I like that one.
And Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he was in that movie too.
He played a pretty good bad guy.
He did.
Not a great actor, but
he was
fine. Fine for a bad guy. He's got
I like that movie. They could have done a second one where they got pulled into another weird scenario.
I love that movie, and the reason I think they should do a sequel is because it's so applicable to today and how we live and how they're challenging each other with the dares, and it's kind of like social media. They go on video and they're like, okay, I'm going to challenge you, and then they go and eventually they're doing like really stupid stuff, and it's pretty much hurting the world by what they're doing. I just
the
think
dangers of social media.
And daring each other, one-upping, and all those things. It's got so many good messages in the movie, and I think it's messages to kids today, especially, where I think you could make a sequel and it still would last and be relevant.
Can you imagine if that was like a thing in real life too?
I mean, it kind of is. That's when I watched it, I'm like, whoa, this is really showing the dangers.
If there was an app or whatever, you just like, hey, I dare you to do this, live stream it, and you get $500.
That's why I like that movie so much, because I'm just like, wow, this actually could, in a weird way, take a lot, but could happen. We could get there. But
it's very possible. Yeah.
Also, just visually, I love it.
Yeah, that was a good one. It had a good use of colors and very vibrancy and all that kind of stuff. So let's see what else I got on my list. Constantine. You ever see this one with Keanu Reeves?
No, isn't he like a demon or something?
Yeah, so he plays like a exorcist, like demon killer type of thing.
Oh, he's a demon killer. Okay.
Yeah, so he goes and sends demons back to hell and stuff, but he's this very brooding, guy who's dying of cancer and smokes all the time. And
I don't like Keanu Reeves though.
He does it really well. I think he's a great actor, and
he's overrated for me. Everyone talks about John Wick and stuff, and
John Wick's are great movies, Aaron.
They're fun.
They're gratuitous violence, but I love them.
Right, they're fun, but like I don't like him as an actor. He's just to me, he's not a good actor. You could put a lot of people in those roles and have them give them the lines that he's doing, and it'd be the same. I don't watch him, and I'm like, wow, he's really just crushing this part. Like he did a really
good job in Constantine, and he always plays the guy who's like, you can't understand what he's saying though. He's
yeah,
like,
because mumbling.
He's like, yeah, he plays like the
I
the
guess
murmuring.
How is that different from Sylvester Stallone?
It's not, but I always think like Keanu Reeves has got an accent or something.
Yeah, like
but
European.
It's just his normal voice.
He's just from like California.
Yeah, but he did the movie really well, and the universe is really, really big that they could expand into. Mm-hmm. But sadly, DC owns the rights to the characters now, so I don't think they'll ever get a sequel.
Isn't that the superhero way? Expand every single superhero you have.
But this one it was not related to any other comic book figures. It's just him.
Thank God it's not Marvel. Universe. Jeez, They would they'd be on the trilogy on
Constantine 3 now, and then they'll be on the Disney Plus streaming series, and they get their own spin-offs, and that's probably a good thing. So. Man. One I would love to see another movie for, but probably
I'll
never
have to watch that.
Yeah, Constantine's really good.
Another movie, I remember the previews as a kid. That's from like 2004 or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it is 2004, so it is a very old movie. But,
so I remember it coming out, but
Tilda Swinton is in it as well. What's Rachel Weisz is in it as too. So very good movie.
I don't know them.
Rachel Weisz was in The Mummy.
Didn't like that movie.
Didn't like The Mummy.
Brendan Fraser, man, come on.
Man, I love that movie back in the day.
When you were a kid. Yeah. And then you watched
Tilda
it.
Swinton played the lady from Doctor Strange, the bald lady, the
Didn't
ancient
like that
one.
movie either, so there you go.
All right, well, forget it then. Moving on. A couple of ones that other made my list was Edge of Tomorrow.
No.
Yeah, I want Edge of Tomorrow too.
Okay.
I want a second one.
Here's the deal.
I want another Groundhog Day.
So, yeah, I did Anti-Piracy, as you remember, in college.
I did.
And that was one of our movies. Got $50 to just sit there and make sure people don't pirate movies. Great gig. However, I just see that movie like 8 times. I'm not exaggerating.
Are you sick of the movie now?
I think 8 times. Also, if you haven't seen it before, that movie is about like repeating the same day over and over and over and over and over.
But it was a fun.
Oh my god! No,
movie.
and it was a good movie. I love Tom Cruise. It was a really good movie. However, I don't need to see that stuff again. Like, it got so repetitive. I was just like,
Fine. What about Van Helsing? You ever see that one with Hugh Jackman?
Yeah.
He's the monster killer, vampires, werewolves, all that kind of stuff. I'd like to see a second one for that.
It was okay. I feel like that was definitely like another one where, like The Mummy, you know, it's an era movie where like people liked it at the time,
mid-2000s.
Yeah, and especially if you're like a teenager and you watch it, you're like, oh, this is sick.
I mean,
but you watch it again, you're like, it's kind of
Kate Beckinsale was in her prime during that movie, so I'd love to see more Kate Beckinsale. I'm just saying, she's great. So
yeah, I feel like
Hugh Jackman's cool, I guess too, but
that's how I feel about Penelope Cruz. We need
really
more.
You like Penelope Cruz?
I love Penelope Cruz.
I'm not a huge fan of Penelope Cruz. So.
Why not?
She's got too big of a nose or something, or I don't know. Well, her nose is weird. Yeah,
that's your beef.
That's turn off. So I don't know. Nose.
Wow,
the nose is weird.
Too big of a nose. Oh, man, no. Penelope Cruz. We need more of her. She needs to act more.
Well, let's get Kate Beckinsale and Penelope Cruz in the same movie, and then
I can't picture.
We'll make it happen.
Kate Beckinsale. What else is she in?
She's in all the underworld movies with vampires. She went through a period where she was like,
yeah, she's the main character.
Yeah, she was literally in like, I love vampires. I need to be in all movies related to such. And
Lacey Sturm soundtrack on that one.
Yes, there you go. Let's see, The Accountants. You ever seen the Accountants with Ben Affleck?
Yep, didn't like it.
You didn't like that one either?
Bored.
That wasn't a boring movie. That was fun. It was exciting.
I'm not a big Ben Affleck guy either. Although I do want to see The Way Back. Is that what it's called?
Oh,
where it's basically about him.
He's like a drunk.
Yeah, it's basically him.
Yeah, coming back, he's like, I'm going to be a basketball coach and teach these kids.
It looked good. But
I'd like to see more like The Accountant too. Like, he's a dude who's good with numbers, and he's secretly an expertly trained assassin, and I don't know. I like his brother, John Bernthal, in the movie too. I'll watch any movie with him in it. And
it was an interesting plot, but
yeah. I don't know. I'd love to see more of The Accountant. What are you looking up over there?
Kate Beckinsale.
Oh. Aaron, you're looking at inappropriate stuff during the recording of this podcast.
No, I'm fine.
Sounds like it.
I'm doing what you told me to do. Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm not seeing it.
Oh, well, there's specific areas where you gotta look.
I'm not happy you picked her over Penelope Cruz.
Kate Beckinsale's got
going on, man.
She's way better than Penelope Cruz, but
she doesn't have an accent.
Well, no.
Penelope Cruz.
No accent.
She did a voiceover.
No accent that she doesn't.
We need her to do a voiceover for Weekendology.
Okay, we'll do that.
Welcome to Weekendology.
Let's see. Any other movies before we wrap up here that need some sequels? Need a second outing?
Yeah, I had one more. The Adjustment Bureau. Did you ever see that?
I feel like I have.
It's with her buddy Matt Damon. Emily Blunt.
Oh, I think I have seen that. Is that the one where like the dudes in suits and the top hats come in and they like
wear
erase
fedoras?
Yeah, I forgot about that movie.
Yeah. See, that's another one.
I'd like to see that.
A lot of people forget about that movie, and
who's the girl in that movie?
Emily Blunt.
Oh, it's Emily Blunt. Okay, yeah, that was a great movie. Actually,
really good. And it's just it's such a creative plot, another just action packed, but you kind of don't know how it ends. You could take it a lot of different ways with the ending. Yeah. So I just feel like it'd be another one where you could make another movie and do a lot of different things with it. But
definitely, I forgot about that movie. So
a lot of the sequels I want to see are just movies I really enjoyed, but also movies that I found are really creative and just different. And to me, if the movie's different, then keep it going. We want to see more.
I'd like to see Adjustment Bureau #2, or I don't know.
And just good bad sequel. Guys, I liked the.
Yeah, I thought they were fun too. They were
and also very relevant to this week because that was about a politician.
Oh well.
Yeah, Matt Damon was a politician in that movie.
Matt Damon. Well, if you like what we talk about in this episode,
what about Team America World Police 2?
Yes, we'll have another one of those too.
That will never happen because
we'll have a sequel.
Oh God, the world would never allow that.
Straight to video on demand.
I'm amazed they play that movie on TV.
I'm surprised. Yeah, they haven't taken it off of TV completely. Some
of those jokes, like, whoa, we're getting away with this.
Yeah. But if you liked what we talked about in this episode, we want to continue the conversation afterwards. Hit us up on Twitter, YouTube, and all of our social medias. Let us know what your thoughts are as well. What movies desperately need a sequel, and did your favorite movies make the list? And
also, what actors and actresses do you want to see more of?
Yes.
I feel like there's a lot of them that they don't get enough love or a lot of screen time. They need to do more movies.
I would love to see more Will Smith movies because I love Will Smith. And
he's got a lot, though. I feel like he's definitely not a guy where it's like, man, where did he go?
More Hayden Christensen movies.
There you go.
His career needs to be totally revived, I think. He was supposed to come back for the last Star Wars one that they did as like a quick cameo. But they were like, nah,
hey guys,
we're not
remember
do
me?
that.
Remember these prequels no one liked because they sucked?
They remember that, like, oh, wait, Hayden Christensen was in that movie.
Oh, wait, he had a rat tail.
Let's forget about that. So scrap that thing completely. But share with us.
The chosen one.
Don't underestimate my power, Obi-Wan. Oh, so many memes. So many great times from that movie. Great Star Wars movie. Oh man,
Little Jar Jar.
Share with us your thoughts on our social handles, or email us to follow up and keep up to date with all the best coverage from everything related to all things changing in the entertainment and the sports and the food world. Check us out on Twitter at Weekendology Pod. Our sports handle is Weekendology Sports, and our entertainment handle is at Weekendology ENT. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube and Facebook. You can email us if you want to partner with us or if you want to collab, do all that kind of stuff. We're at weekendologypodcast@gmail.com. So send us your thoughts. Send us
anything.
Send us anything you want to send. It's not a filtered.
If you have a podcast, though, we want to hear it, and we'll have you on, and we'll get on yours and have some fun.
We would love to do cross collab promotions and I don't know, have a great time.
I just want to see what other people are doing. Like that. I always like seeing the other side. What other podcasts are.
See
what are they talking about?
What's in the world of other 96 million podcasts that are out there? So we'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to check out our last episode where we talk about the origins of Halloween and how the celebration could change in the future. That's up on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you listen to. And
keeping spooky season alive.
Keep the hashtag spooky season alive as well. Don't forget to check out the Big Red World. They're on Big Red Social, and their website is bigredworld.org. We've got new episodes every Friday, so until next time, enjoy some movies this weekend and have a great time. See you guys next time.